Welcome to our fourth video, Unity Enemy Creation Video 4. So we've got a dragon that we've created, we've got our main character, and we've got this mesh that we have created, this nav mesh, this blue part, where the dragon can actually move around in, okay? And what we're going to do is in order to get the dragon to move it around, we've actually got to create a nav mesh agent. So if we select our dragon, and we go down to Add Component, and we look for nav, N-A-V, and nav mesh agent, and click on that. And so we can make sure that it is the right kind of setting here, and we can change all of these things as we go. But that basically gives us, for example, angular speed of which the dragon will turn around with, how much speed he can turn around, what his acceleration is, what his normal speed is, what his stopping distance is, etc. So that is the nav mesh agent. Now we need to create some waypoints. And waypoints are where we actually create a hierarchy. In the hierarchy we create an empty. So what I did was I right clicked and created empty. And I'm going to call this waypoints, capital W-A-Y, capital points, right? And on selecting that, I'm going to go over to here and I'm going to change it so it is reset. And the way I do that is I go to the transform, the three buttons there, and press reset, and it pops our button, our waypoint, right in the center there. And now I'm going to create some waypoints. I'm going to create an empty in here, call it waypoint. So create empty, call it waypoint, and this one I'm going to call that waypoint as well. And this is going to be waypoint 1. And let's go to that particular one here. So it happens to be in the center there, and I can drag it across here. You need to make sure it's at least above 0. So let's go to 0. And this waypoint here needs to be at 0 as well. And we just move it across here. And we can see where that waypoint is. So the first waypoint is here. Just move it to where the dragon is. The second waypoint is over here. Let's create another one. Create empty. And we can call it waypoint. Waypoint 2. And where are we going to put waypoint 2? We're going to put waypoint 2 over here. Make sure that that's 0. So we've got waypoint 2. Make sure it's in our area. So let's have a look at that, make sure it's over there. So our dragon is basically going to go from here to here to here, and maybe we'll put another one in here so it'll go over here. So I'll just copy this one, Control C, Control D, rename that one 3, and drag that over here. So there's our waypoints. I'm just going to put those lowercase waypoints into the waypoints folder. Okay, and I can create a few more if I really wish. Now we need to tag all these waypoints. So if I click over here, I'm going to create a waypoint tag, and that waypoint tag will be all lowercase. So I'm going to add a tag, create it, call it waypoints. Whoops, that's all uppercase. Waypoints. And I'm actually going to delete this one here that I've already created. And I'm going to select this waypoints folder. And I'm going to, in there, I'm going to press waypoints here. So it's going to have its tag of waypoints. Now we can actually start programming the waypoints in. So if I go to my code for this, the first thing that we need to do is change this part up here. So where it says collections, we need to change it to using Unity Engine.ai, capital AI there, make sure there's a dot in between. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to create a list for our waypoints. So basically creating a list that will look for the waypoints, and we'll be dealing with the transform function of our waypoints. So that means that we're going to be moving along, and now we'll call it waypoints here. And what is it that we're going to be doing? It equals new list. So it just enables us to do a few lists in here. We don't have to just do one list, but we're doing one list at this point. Transform. So our list transform waypoints. So the name of the list is called waypoints, and it's going to be a new list. And then we're going to add or access the Unity nav mesh. So unity.ai .navmesh agent, and we're going to call that agent. So we're going to refer to this particular word regularly, and that's going to actually refer to the Unity NavMesh agent, and that basically connects us to the nav mesh on the dragon, for the dragon to be able to move around. So let's have a look at it. In the on state enter, the agent will equal animator dot get component, and we're going to look for get component here. So we've got get component parents, get components, etc. So if we just start get component, just choose one of those and just chop that off there, and it's going to be the Unity engine .ai, and you'll notice how we've got .ai and then the nav mesh agent. So I was able to tab each one of those across. The good thing about tabbing these across is that I can't make a mistake with the code at that point, and we want to eliminate all little errors with our code. And so we're going to access a game object, and that game object's name is going to be GO or Go for game object, and it's going to be game object dot find game object with tags. Okay, so object with tags. So we click on that, and what is the name of our waypoints? We're going to call it waypoints, all lowercase. Now for each waypoint, so for each transform T in waypoints in Go, not waypoints because we've labeled it Go dot transform, we're going to do something. And what are we going to do? We're going to add the waypoints. Add T. Okay, and then we're actually going to set the destination of those waypoints. So the agent is going to travel along the mesh in the destination. So we go agent, which is going to be the dragon and the dragon mesh, dot set destination. Set destination, and what is it going to be? It's going to be waypoints. And the square bracket, well, not those brackets, square bracket, random, so we want it to go to a random waypoint, dot range, and it's going to be 0 waypoints dot count, and just in between here, we're going to say dot position. And you'll see it's come up there, so I can press tab, and it will go up there. So that is our on-state enter. It's going to set our destination points for the waypoints. And then we're going to go down here to this part, and just above the timer, we're going to start typing. So this is going to be if, open brackets, the agent. So we're going to access the agent, dot remaining. This is a set of words that we can use, remaining distance. So if the remaining distance is greater or it's less than or equal to the agent dot stopping distance. So that's another word we can use in there. These are reserved words. So it's actually, so we're asking it if the distance is greater than the stopping distance, then agent dot set destination will be waypoints, and again those square brackets random, so it's going to actually take the same thing as this. So we could actually grab that. Random, so we'll just grab that, and there we go. So random.range. So basically it's going to set a new direction at that point. The last thing we want to do down here is we want to actually do the same thing, that when it exits that particular state, it will actually stop and transform position and just start going through its waypoints again. So the way we do that is we go agent dot set destination, open brackets, agent dot transform dot position, and we just put a semicolon in the end. So if you just add that particular code in total, as long as we haven't made any mistakes, we should be fine. So we're just going to check if we've made any mistakes just attached to Unity up here. It says there were build errors in there, so this is good. We can go and find out what they are. So yes, and let's have a look. It says at line 9, AI does not exist in the namespace for Unity. So let's have a look at this particular code here. So what have we done wrong? I would just rewrite it. Unity engine. So there's the Unity engine. Yeah, let's use that. .ai, and instead of player there, we go nav mesh agent. So see how it's coming up. And we put in agent, so we can do that. So this is now filling it out for us. So let's stop it, attach it again, and see where the build error is now. So it doesn't like it at line 14. Cannot implicitly convert to the type. So again, what I would do is I would, seeing as I'm not sure what the actual error is, what I can actually do is just retype that very carefully. And because we've already got the Unity nav mesh up here, and it was using the IntelliSense, it will actually help us here. So it equals, here we go, Animator, so it's giving us the right thing, .get component, there we go. See how it's filling it in for us, get component, Unity engine, see how it's filled it out properly for us this time. So that seems to be right. So then I think we might have another build error in here, so we'll have a look, see what happens. Yes, there's another build error in line 26. And again, it hasn't worked out the destination. So let's make it work that out. So it's the agent.setDestination. So we can start writing it again, agent.set. And now it's coming up with that set destination thing. Set destination, open brackets, waypoints, and you can see it's coming up with the IntelliSense for that. As soon as it's not coming up with the IntelliSense, we know that there could possibly be a little problem with it. And this is that square brackets, random, and you can see IntelliSense comes up with the random, which is good. .range, there it comes up, .range, and then we've got open brackets, open brackets, and we can say 0, waypoints, and it comes up with waypoints again, .count, .position, it's even got it, waypoints, .count, and that wasn't very helpful, was it? .position, and it comes up with that, and then we make sure we've got a semicolon there. And that should be all our errors that we've had. It may come up with an error down here, we'll see. So let's stop that, let's run it attached to Unity. Doesn't seem to be any build errors now. So let's go across here. Do I want to stop debugging? Yes, I do. And click here. It says there's some compile errors, so we'll see if that's the truth. Okay, so our dragon's sitting there. He's about to head on off to his waypoint. So there he goes off to his waypoint. So that's pretty good. He's avoiding that particular object over here because he's using the AI system. And just following him along here. Interesting that the character here is not using the AI. It's not worked out that it's got that object in front of it. So that's the end of this particular part of the video.